Okay, we're streaming, we're live. Let me just get those things here. Right? Let's see. I think we should be. Yeah, we are. Good. Let's put on some music. Not right now. GeForce wants to update. Okay. So, let's see. I am up here as well. Alright, we are live. Welcome, guys, to on our Wednesday stream for watchmework.com. Once again, thank you guys for letting me stream with you. And today we are going to do something that is that doesn't have anything like anything complex. We're just going to explore some ship, and my idea is to make some kind of a grenade, sci-fi grenade. So we're just gonna start in ZBrush, and we won't be doing Maya ZBrush, Maya ZBrush, Maya ZBrush as we did in the last streams. Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining, man. So we're just going to stick into ZBrush mainly and see how much will how far it will take us. So I'm thinking about some kind of spherical shape, so I'm gonna start with a basic polysphere, and let's see. So how we are going to take it. So the idea is to have some kind of a lightning grenade or something, or smoke grenade, and I wanted to open and things to shoot from it. So basically I'm going to zero mesh it at half, and I'm gonna keep those groups. There we go. Let's do half again and again. Alright, that should be a nice starting point. Cool. Also, now we don't have poles to worry about, so this is kind of cool. To elevation, almost no bevel, let's make it to 20. I guess we'll have to do a little bit more of a thickness, so let's try 0.05. There we go. Now we have a nice thickness for ourselves, and I'm gonna go with a minus. So now I can get this one and move it up a little bit. something like this, and we're gonna quickly mirror it into the Y, and I'm going to duplicate it, and the original I'm going to return it to something like this. Cool. We're going to take those, delete it. I'm going to take those, delete it. Gonna straighten those and those. Whoa. Cool. Something like this. And we're going to scale all this down. That's good enough for me. More. And we're going to double. Let's close those holes. So close convex hole. Whoa. A lot of resolution. It doesn't matter though. So group by normals. Cool. And polygroup. No. And now we're gonna QMesh polygroup all. I'll do it to a point where it goes like this. Cool. You know what? Let's use a whole new cylinder for this. And by the way, right off the bat, let's save it. Call it grenade or whatever. Let's use a cylinder. I'm gonna use this. Down. So one. Sorry guys, I'm not chatty today, but my throat actually hurts a little, so I'll try to talk as little as possible. But those are just Z-modeler stuff that we do every time I stream, so it really shouldn't be anything worrisome for you to not get. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use the nanomesh function. To do this, we are going to create ourselves a cylinder. So just a very easy cylinder, nothing special. I'm just going to get rid of all those subdivisions because I don't really need them, and I'm gonna make it well 20 sides. And from here I'm gonna fit them into position, and I'm gonna make it insert brush, new, and I'm gonna make it nanomesh brush. And now what we can do is, if we get this, we create points. Let's turn on Z as well. There we go. Those points are just placeholders. So right now I can come here and I can polygroup island and create those. And those will be kind of like holes inside where I will create my own kind of blaster or whatever thingy that comes out. But first I want to do like the bottom two, and let's make it symmetrical. That's good. And I will do those. So I'm going to drag those, and in the nano mesh I can play now with it. So I can go to, if I go to fifth, it's not good because first of all, even though it tries to be perfect, those are not. So I can do prop and I can go to size of 1, and I think this should be enough. So probably gonna get rid of those. So right now I can go and make this my mesh. Geometry. VPR to geo. Now the nano mesher meshes of its own. However, I am going to select one of those. Oh, I gotta, of course, turn off the nano mesh. What? Oh, that's weird. Let's do this again. I don't know what happened actually, but something fucked up. Okay, so I'm gonna select those. Select those. Whoops. Select those. Control Shift A and split hidden. There we go. And now those, we can play with them. So for starters, we don't want any of these here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select just a part of them, invert it, Control Shift A to select all, and invert again, delete hidden. So now those will be my my holes. And the important thing is that you don't want to get rid of those polygroups because they will be used later on again. So what you can do is you can we can go to group by normals. Let's try and see how this works. So let's make it like this. Alright, it looks perfect. Cool. So now need is to let's get rid of those like booleans. Group by normals, Chris PG. That's it. And I'm gonna save this. And now I am going to create a duplicate of the grenade, and I am going to leave only those two selected. Geometry, dynamic subdiv. I'm gonna make it, let's go for like this, and then those will be 4 again. And I know it's pretty heavy, but I don't care too much. So let's just make it live polygon, live booleans, like this. And actually, you know what? What we can do is we can grab those, and those, delete hidden. All right. So boolean subdivision and go for it. Another pretty heavy mesh. There we go. But now we can still get this one and this one. Delete hidden. Let's try the zero mesh here on a half. Whoa. Interesting. Well, that happens. While ZBrush loads, let's answer the questions. See if you guys well, there is a plugin called actually I'm going to do a video on plugins. It's just not right away, but there's a plugin called Live Boolean Master or something like this, where you have a few options. No, not this. Let's get rid of this. And well, there you have a few options you can do. However, in my opinion, the booleans that you get, the boolean system that you get with the ZBrush, the default ZBrush boolean system, doesn't require any plugin. It's plentiful on its own. All right, let's go a different approach. We don't need this. Let's go and import. No, actually, let's create ourselves our little kind of protrusions. So let's do a cylinder. We're gonna initialize this to about 22 sides. There you go. By normals, and I've done this like a gajillion times, so I'm not going to explain all of it. If you want, you can go on my channel and watch my previous streams. Almost every time we kind of go through the same thing, but yeah. So polygroup island, do this here, smooth it, bring it down. like this one, and let's auto group it. There you go. Now we can insert it, and let's insert this as a region, something like this. This one, and I'm actually going to insert one here just so I can Q mash it and hold shift, and it gets a little bit of you know, kind of inserted, not straightforward bevel. Now I can get this one, mask it, invert the mask here and scale it a little bit, and then this whole thing can just be scaled. Actually, cool. What we can do is we can shrink. Now let's go to lasso. Do this, get this one to be its own polygroup, and now we can get this polygroup masked. Get this masked, invert the mask, and now we can kind of bring it a little bit down. And we can bevel those edges. So you can come here and bevel this one and this one. Two. And then we're gonna bevel this one in. You can group by normals, increase PG, and then go and manually crease whatever else you want creased. There you go. Now those here, insert a single edge loop and then insert a multiple edge loops with indirective resolution. This. Then okay, and now we can just get this a little bit bigger. Alright, so now once we have this, we can come here and save it as it's in your brush. I have it on Alt B, so you can create insert mesh, new. There you go. You can go here and save this brush. I'm gonna save it on desktop for now. Then I'm going to move it back to my folder. And now I can come here. Where was it? This guy. And since I have those polygroups set up, although I don't like them that much, well, let's see how it goes. I can come here, and from this I can make a nanomesh brush, and we can create those here, and let's go to polygroup all. There we go. And now we can create a nanomesh one if we want. That seems like a good one. Will of course delete those here, but otherwise I think it's cool. Looks good. And we can, well, first of all, we can save it, because as we just noticed, it can crash every moment. So Oh, let's save it here. Okay. So now what we can do, and my computer is kind of really buggy, has a lot of trash on it, so I kind of have to reinstall everything. But I never get the time to do it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, well, I'm going to go to geometry and create BPR, convert BPR to geo. There you go. Select all this and all this. Control Shift A, and then split hidden. And now those are its own separate subtool. And I'm going to get rid of this and those. Once again, Control Shift A. Let's hide those. Control Shift A. Delete hidden. And now I have this. And it is a little bit too much, so what I can do is bring them in like this. A little bit more. Yeah, this will be good. And then I can duplicate those, inflate them, and move those up and move those down like this. And now I have kind of like insides and inside the sphere from where you can go when stuff can go away, depending on what you prefer as uh, as your explosion of choice or whatever. So now if I smooth it, the one thing that's problematic is that, as you can see, once I smooth it, this thing doesn't have clean bevels, and I want those bevels. So what I can do is I can either create a new rivet that I can do insert it, or I can create this as a boolean. Let's see if this works. So I'm gonna work on half actually. So let me get this one, and I'm gonna delete. Okay, so I'm going to group by normals, and I'm gonna work only on this piece here, and I'm gonna duplicate this and keep it here just in case. This one I'm going to delete lower. See, those look kind of good enough. So right now I can make the boolean like, let's see if it will work. Let's hope it will. Alright, it made those boolean, and I can get this one, delete hidden, and I can zero mesh it. So I'm going to zero mesh it, and I'm going to zero mesh it with the same poly count. See what happens. Holy, I'm going to zero mesh it with double that. I'm aiming for good round holes here, and I'm going to use poly loops, so I don't really have to be such a low level, so I can just go and make it like 5 and see and hope this works. There you go. try some smoothing, some polishing by features, and then turn down the adaptive maybe. There we go. Okay, so this is something I can go for. First of all, I don't need this back here, so I go delete hidden. Now I can zero mesh it. There we go. And now I can come to my grenade here, and I don't need this one, so I'm going to delete it. And we're going to turn off light booleans, and I am going to insert this new UMesh tool, and I am going to mirror and weld it in the Y. There you go. And this one I don't need as well. Cool. Let's again, and now we can polyloop it. So I can go to edge loop, polyloop, and let's see. This is way too thin, so 0.005. 0.01. Alright. Kind of overshot it. There we go. And now we can polish by features again. Let's turn back on the inner part. Oh, this one here needs a little bit of convincing. By convincing I mean we need to convince it to behave properly. Here you go. Let's see. Kind of correct. Right, so now we can increase PG, and this will give us a lot more of a kind of beveled look for those insects. Cool. And now finally, actually not finally, but now at some point we have to take the button. This is why I left this piece here open, because I want to put a big button in it, kind of a big red button to you know, get this grenade or whatever thing going. So we should actually do this whole thing by itself. I'm gonna do it with 0.4, just so I can have it divided by quarters. So now and it's basically the same thing. If you have like a concept, go for the concept. If you don't have a concept, just do it yourself. Think about it yourself, more likely. So now this here, we can, let's see, inset. My brain is just going haywire. Okay, so we can inset this like that, and now we can bring those down like this, and then hold shift. Now, one very quick tip: if you go straight down like this, it will snap and create a hole or whatever. So just do a little of it and then continue to do it, but hold shift. So this way you can go down even if it cuts through the back face, if this is something you want. So now we have this, and I'm going to go to polygroup island and hold control, bring it up again, and then split this. Let's save this as grenade button. There you go. And now just move it in, and this little piece here, you can create this type of bevel. There you go. And now when you create bevel here on this, put that, and then later when you smooth both, you get this kind of a button type. And let's just get a little bit bigger like this. Then on this side, this thing here can be beveled a little bit as well. Whoa. Like that. Cool. So now when you select your creases, for instance, if you don't want to have this kind of a shading error that I don't know, I don't think if you can see it properly, but sometimes when you have a cap, it kind of squishes towards the middle. So the easiest thing to do is to just like, well, let's do single and add us one here, and then you get, boom, you don't have it anymore. So now once we are ready, we can come here and we can merge those down together. There we go. And save this as a new insert mesh, and get, where was it, get our little guy. And you can actually, in this case, you can use this one simply because it has a point. And if you decide to insert mesh this one, and if you decide to draw it, this, it's easier. However, otherwise you can just come here and insert it, insert this grenade button or whatever. However, I am going to like this, like that. Move it in. It's a little bit bigger for my let's actually split my point. Put it like this, because if you hold this whole thing in hand, it's only normal for the to be the button to be like a thumb wide. So maybe bigger, like that. This is good enough. Cool. Cool. And now, let's see what else we can create. We can create some kind of a measurement here that indicates when it's about to go off. So this could be cool. What is your YouTube channel? Well, my YouTube channel is just type my name Meto Petkov inside ZBrush. Yeah, whatever, dude. Inside YouTube, and you will get there. Uh, I just I just upload all the streams I do there. So yeah. Okay. So now let's give it some flair, because right now it has like a cool design, but nothing more. First of all, let's get those little thingies and smooth them this, and then this one here seems kind of you know what, I can zero mesh this whole thing, so, and why not, let's see what happens. Geometry, I'm gonna go with same and zero mesh it and see what how it behaves. And this is one of the rare instances when I don't use symmetry for the for zero mesh, because it's well, because I don't need it. It's taking a lot of time to zero mesh for some reason. But it's good because I can open a beer. No, it made it a lot more wanky. So, yeah. Probably the best way is to just right. So for this here, I want to create a little bit of a tiny kind of a lightning thing that later when I texture it, I can give it some emissive channel on it. So when the heroes throw it, you can see how it rotates, and you know the light rotates with it. It's gonna have some cool look. So I am going to mirror and weld this into the Y, and since I'm working entirely in ZBrush, this will make sure that um, let's make sure that I get a line in the center, and then I am just going to bevel it. Let's bevel it more. Then QMesh polygroup island. Then go to inset. Actually, let's go to inset on the polygon. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. And now QMesh it back in. Cool. And now this here, let's group it by normals, and if I get only this, I can mask it over the mask and scale it down a little bit, so it's not a perfect uh, 90-degree angle, because quite honestly I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, so the same thing I'll do with those, like this. Actually, okay, there we go. We just made it a little bit wider. Actually, you know, it's too much hassle for nothing. Let's leave it like this. Group by crease PG. Now I have this kind of a cool shape. We have the big red button at the center. Actually, you know what? I am going to Control Shift. What? Oh, I'm going to get this auto grouped. Shift A, and I'm going to assign a nice red color. Fill it. So now, so I know it's a big red button on the top. Yes, I usually apply. Depends. Let me just see where I have it. Let me just save this for now, and let's see if I can load it. Um, so let's see. Okay, so if I do something like this is something I did a while back. Uh, just practice, nothing special, some doofy idea. So if I do this, I usually apply colors a lot early. Like if I have a palette for this, for him, I knew I wanted it to be some kind of purple with greenish hue and whatever. So I applied really early, and then I scoped. I scoped while I had those, right? So with color, and this way I get more. I don't know. It just reads better in my mind. So, but for something like this, I might go just a simple basic material or madcap until the very last phase of it. So, what else we can do? We can create some panel cuts here if you want. Let's use the chisel brush. And the cool thing about the chisel brush is that you can cut panels. Whoa. Yeah, you can cut panels without, actually worrying about panel loops and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go dynamic, go 4, and apply those. And 4 is way too much, obviously. So let's go to 2. Apply those. Those are 500,000, which, let's go to 3. 3 is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to go to a very small size, and I'm going to work in Y and a Z, let's say. And I'm going to create cuts. Let's see. let's go back a few times, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate those two. So I'm going to split hidden, and then we can work with more bigger resolution, so to say. So you can draw. Okay, let's get this, and this intensity is too much. The cool thing about the Shizu brush is that what you can do with it is if you use the lazy mouse like this, uh, let's come here. If you use the lazy mouse and you draw something like this, if you change the direction, it cuts clean, and you can see how it didn't go deeper. Because if you do the same thing with Damien Standard, for instance, and let's okay, so if you try to do the same thing, at least I think, and you cut like this and you cut like this, I don't know, this one looks cleaner to me. Looks, in my opinion, it looks kind of better. Alright, so this is actually, so what else we can do? Come on guys, give me ideas. I'm kind of blanking here. We can create we can create some kind of a plate right here. Let's do this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to once again create my own kind of insert mesh. This time we're going to make it a cube. Let's turn this X symmetry. There you go. We're gonna first of all make a polymesh 3D and initialize it to be a Q-cube. There we go. And now we're going to bring it really thin, something like this. Cool. And let's get an X symmetry. So now we can mesh it a little bit. Scale it, I mean, like this. Alright. And now we can bring in some text into it. So let's say our little grenade is called, I don't know what it's called. So first of all, I'm going to need a little bit of resolution, you see later why. So first I'm going to delete this one, delete this single edge loop, and then I'm going to insert a specified elevation, interactive resolution, and the same poly group, and I'm gonna insert like some like this. Okay, and now let's put a text into it. So let's get Z plugins, text 3D. First of all, let's save this. Cool. So we're gonna go to new text, and not here. I wanted the new text to be in this. So new text, and we're gonna call it MK45 GH. Now let's make it something cool. I'm gonna say Smoky because it's a smoke bomb. Now I have Smoky as a text, and we can bring it in. You know what? We don't need to do all these. What we can do is we can play with those settings here. So the extrusion, let's do it 1.2 to be bigger, and there is, let's do like 10 bevel. 10 bevel is okay. And resolution, bevel resolution, let's make those two also. See, we still need to increase normal. You know what? Let's increase it here. Increase, drop the tolerance, increase PG. There we go. We're gonna fix this one really quick. Cool, so now we have some like this. That's too much bevel. Okay, so now our bomb is called Smoky. We can fit it here. And let's do the spacing. Where was the spacing? Every time it updates to become a whole big again, so minus 0.1, minus 0.3. Okay, minus 0.3 is okay. We're gonna bring it in like this. Yeah, that's so now we have this here. So come here and we can insert a single edge loop with this. And group by normals. Actually, let's polygroup this poly loop. And then QMesh polygroup island. There. Like this. And then a little bit more like this. That looks cool. And we're gonna make it even thinner. Cool. And now we're gonna create this to be actually, let's first fix the creasing. So we're gonna X and Y as symmetry. We're going to crease as loop complete. Cool. Have this. And now we can create a boolean. Like this. That looks cool. So let's see. It has resolution nice enough, so let's boolean it. And actually, let's cancel this. Let's delete those. Man, that's why you save. Let's, by the way, check how much how much time do we have left? We have like 15 more minutes. Okay, so what we'll do is I think we'll be able to finish the high poly. I thought we'll be able to get into game rest today, but I'll do the game rest offline, and uh, then we'll do this like next week or something. Here we go. So I have let's see, what is the last save? All right, not too far from the truth. So basically, I am just gonna do this quickly without explaining it again. All right. So we're gonna have to do the text again. I'm doing this simply because otherwise it looks kind of ridiculous to have this hole. So this, okay, this can work. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to make a boolean, this time with subdivision. There we go, we have it. This is it. So I'm gonna get it into position, and I am going to create a brush about it, new, and I'm gonna come to my little guy, and we're going to insert it. So let's get into the brush as an options, and from the modifiers I'm going to go to projection strength of 100. Let's see if 100 works. So I'm gonna work on this, of course. It's too much. And as you can see, it gets stretching because of projection. So it will be wiser before we make it a brush to come here and make it, let's try zero mesh it, and zero mesh it the same. See what we get. Yes, the sword will be up tomorrow, I think. Okay. What we can do is try to keep the groups. You want to see the sword before we go? Okay, but okay, actually, let's let this zero mesh it, and then I'll show it to you before I go. It's just the long sword, dude. Everybody makes those. Okay, that's for the demonstration. This is good enough. We hope. We're gonna make this create, append, yes. This one, let's try it. Alright, that's much better. Yeah, that's much better. So now we can go to modifiers and go to projection of 100 and see what happens. Now have in mind that this cool inverted selection, split mask points, and now we have this little plate here projected to the surface. So now all we need to do is, if we want to get a little bit more industrial, machine parts, main, just a second. There we go. So get this one, the machine parts, we can create some kind of a recessed dial something, and turn on local symmetry, turn on X and Y. Does it work this way? I think not. Yeah, it doesn't, because yeah, well, too bad. Anyway, we're gonna do it on with X. So we can do it like this. Let's do it like this and like this. And then we can finally select this, split the hidden, and then center it. Actually, center it without symmetry. Move the pivot's direction a little bit, like this, and then just go in a little bit. And now our bomb is like smoky because it's small bomb, and from here it shoots poisonous smoke and it opens, and here it has a light that will be textured. I'll do this, and next week we'll start by texturing this. So before I go, I'm just going to save this. So save as uh, save as grenade. This is good enough for me. And now I am going to load. You guys want to see the sword I was making? The videos. I decided to make all of to make it all, and then just a second, and then bring it in like a whole playlist, because right now I still have to texture it. The game res, everything is done, but the texture is still not. So let's just let's get to clean tool master, and let's turn off the polypaint to all of those. There you go. And this is it, guys. Just a normal longsword. It's cool. I like this kind of breaking this way how I break down the handle. Like, and this will be leather, and this will be some kind of carved wood or something. Still in perspective. Go. Let's render it and see if it looks good. I think it looks cool. And it's almost entirely made in ZBrush. The only thing I did outside of ZBrush was the scale. I scaled, like I created the blade, the basic shape of the blade outside of ZBrush in Maya, relevant to, actually I can show it to you if I open the scene that I want to open. Let's see. Nope, I don't want to save it. So basically this is all I did in Maya. This is my Maya blockout, just so I can have a better shape, a better scale to work with. And because sometimes when you do this this blade details inside ZBrush, when you weld points in ZBrush, then it kind of screws up when you want to UV it or clean it up. So yeah, and the videos are, this here will be a pain to bake though. These little things here and this here will be kind of touchy things to bake. Otherwise it's a pretty simple one, but I enjoyed. It looks kind of cool. Okay, let's get back to a grind. So Smoky is almost done. Let's apply some dynamics. Cool. That's something that we did today. Let's let it render. And yeah. So thank you for watching me. I'll see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow. In Friday, I might do some character work. We gotta finish both our soldier, like our fantasy soldier, and our sci-fi guy. I can actually show you what we are doing on character hour. If you go, there is character hour playlist inside my channel in YouTube, and you can you can go there and you can watch me work on characters. For those streams here, I prefer not to do characters just because I want to start something and get it into relatively finished phase before I get off. And a character, you can't do this. But let's see. So it's kind of a heavy file. So, but he's almost done. Um, there you go. There is I have to finish those and the boots and the pants. Otherwise, he's almost done. Uh, Last time we did the helmet and this little cow here. If you because let me show you. If you take off the helmet, he still has like this little cow that protects him from the steel of the helmet. And we did this armor piece here. It still has to be detailed. And the chainmail is basically a nanomesh. And then most of the work we still have to do is on his big piece of clothing. Well, I think roofing. Oh, and the scarf. I don't think if you see it, but there is a scarf underneath all those. So basically, the idea is that I can render the character. Um, I can render him without the helmet, and I can render him without those as well. I just have to bring his ears back. Uh, and then finally the face goes fucking topology. So that's all from me for today. Uh, Thank you for watching me. Remember to share, subscribe, like, comment, or whatever. This helps a lot. And we'll see each other on watchmework.com. We'll see each other next Wednesday. And otherwise, you can check my channel. There's new content almost every day. Certainly, I wasn't active a little bit, but I kind of cooked up a lot of content that I'll now release as at once, like on a daily basis. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you guys. See you guys later. Bye.